I've been working on the tubs, but I really need to get all this stuff filled in before, or figured out and filled in before I put the tubs in. Too lazy to work on it with it's wide open, obviously. So I was going to cut a piece out and weld it in, you know, make it all look nice. But it really ain't, I don't think it's worth all that crap, honestly. It would add at least 2 days to what my build, honestly. So I'm gonna already put this plate right here, cut it out, drilled holes in it. I'm gonna put it right there and cover that up. And I got some hex head bolts. Just gonna do some bolts and nuts on it. And then just put some seam sealer on the inside right here, so nothing can get through there. Which I obviously paint this the same blue as the truck so it doesn't stick out or anything, but I'm gonna do the same thing for that. And this hole right here. And I'll probably just build a plate for this hole right here because you can't hardly access anything right here. So I'll probably just build a plate like that. The same shape as the cover that goes in there from the factory. That's where the PCM goes, which I don't need that obviously because I'm running a LS. I'm gonna drill these holes out. So I put it in place, got it all centered up, matched all the mark stuff and everything, so it'll work pretty good. We'll drill these holes out and start putting bolts in, make sure it all fits. There we go, I got the bolts. I mean, they're just sitting inside of there. They're not nuts on the backside or anything. Just wanna make sure everything lined up all right. But see the idea now. I'm just gonna put some sealant. I might just put on right there and then put some seam sealant on the inside because I can get to it pretty easily from the inside. It just seems to the back side of it, but I'll paint it the same color blue as this, so it won't be as noticeable. Yeah, I think that ought to work just fine. So, there's a lot of tape on there. I always use tape trying to make templates and stuff like that because it's easier to mark on that tape. Maybe you won't mess up as much paint on the firewall. I have to repaint some of it anyway. It's pretty scratched up, but try to keep the damage to a minimum. So now all that works, I guess we can start working on that one's there for the transmission plug. There's that secondary plate I was talking about. So this right here is mainly the ECU, and this right here is the transmission and the tail light and harness and stuff like that normally. This right here is where the ECM slides into right here. So stuff to make this one made. That's the main ones I was worried about making because those are gonna be the most difficult. This right here, I'm just gonna put just a couple of holes in this silicone or seam sealer or something right here. I'll just smash it on there. That'll work just fine. There's all the tape around it. Originally made it too long. It was hitting this right here. It goes down right here. I actually measured it. And in my mind, I added the 22 millimeters to each side of it, or 11 millimeters each side of it, so 22 millimeters total. So I thought it was 84 plus 22, which is 106, but obviously that was wrong. 84 was a total length with the added 11 millimeters. I put 11 millimeter parameter around the hole. I thought there was plenty of room to get the bolts and stuff in there. So, see the little edge right there? It should fit in there pretty good. Looks pretty straight. Looks halfway factory. So that's them 2 holes right there. So that'll be, so I gotta primer these, paint them, all that crap, but so much closer being done with that part of it. There's the 2 panels that I got for the firewall block off plates. I'm not gonna body work those. I'm just gonna probably sand a little bit flatter, maybe scuff them up a little bit, and then throw some paint on them eventually. Came in here a little while ago thinking about what I needed to do. So the front fender mounts right here. So I have to paint this before I put the fender on, so I better get on this. Got this whole top section of the core support sanded down, bare metal, pretty much. And then I'll try to put a picture on here of how bad these were chipping. But these mounts right here, I had painted over stock paint, that white paint. And that paint is garbage, so sanded both of these down to bare metal. I'll have to blend them out a little bit right here. I got 180 right there. Sand it back a little bit, hit primer, and then when that gets ready, I'll sand it down to 320, a little bit further back probably. Supposed to paint on those so it'll be ready. They've been chipping for a while. And all this stuff, I'm probably just gonna brush it in because I really don't feel like sanding this whole thing down to paint this whole side of the front of the cab. But I may end up painting it, we'll see. Went over everything with some surface wash, clean it up a little bit. Get it all wiped down. I'll tape it off tomorrow. Clean up a little more. And then the plan is to go ahead and paint these panels tomorrow while I got the blue paint out. That'll be one more thing done, you know what I mean? So I go knock that out. I can paint those panels tomorrow right there. And I can go ahead and paint these fender panels too tomorrow. That's the plan anyway, we'll see what happens. It is 3:24 a.m. I'm gonna go to sleep. Got everything wiped down, blown off, taped up, all that good jazz. Let's mix up some primer and throw some on there. Alrighty. I mixed up way too much primer on that deal, but everything coated. Still got a bunch left. Order this cheap, low volume, low pressure spray gun. That's really good to be used. Saw a lot of guys on YouTube using it. Ordered it a couple weeks ago. Finished spraying some color here in a little bit, so I might try it just to get a little practice with it. But comes with a 1.3 tip, a 1.7, and a 1.5. It won't focus right, but either way, comes with all that stuff and a regulator and a few little tools. That's a regulator off my other gun, and it comes with a paint cup also. So I mean, I might try it. I think I'm gonna use a 1.3. That's probably about, that'd be pretty good for a color, I think. Probably use a 1.5 or something for primer maybe, but clean it up. It's got some oil on it, you know, just from shipping. They ship it with oil so it doesn't rust up or anything, I guess. I'm gonna clean it out real good and then see what it'll do. I believe we got it all cleaned up. I took everything apart, cleaned it real good with acetone, brushed it out, wiped it down. Hopefully it's good. Probably put some acetone in the cup and just shoot it through there just to make sure all the passages are clear. But the Harbor Freight cups, the box of them, these disposable paint cups, it will screw right onto here, and it's got filters inside of it. Well, trying to find a better picture one. There's a filter, a screen, we're gonna call it strainer. It goes inside of there. But factories, or the disposable paint cups for Harbor Freight, fill in there real good. And then this is the regulator I got at Harbor Freight. I'm guessing it's the same exact, probably almost the exact same thing, honestly. It's pretty similar, but I already had all my fittings rigged up on there, so I'm just gonna keep using it. It works good still. Put a little acetone in here and mess with it a little bit, see what kind of spray pattern I can get out of it. And then mix some color up here shortly. Color out. Man, I love that color. Should be pretty dark from that black. I mean, it's the same thing as a firewall. Should be pretty dark. I'll show you this mixed on here. So look on here. It says 4 parts for the paint, one part of the activator. So I got the high temp activator, which is this is for above 80. I had the medium over here too behind it, and that's for 70 to 80 degrees. So depending on the temperature is what you determine that with. So I'll do 4 to 1. The one right here shows. So plug will mix up. Got quite a bit of stuff to spray. Probably about 3 coats on there. So I'll probably try 3. I'll go to 3 on here. So I'll do 3 parts, all the way up 3 with the paint, and then the activator will go to the next 3. So it's one of those to pretty much, which is it's gonna be mostly paint and a little bit of activator is what it's gonna be. So get the stirring this a little bit and mixing this stuff up. That color right there is hard to beat. All right. Make sure I stir it real good, make sure all the metallic stuff off the bottom of it. I'm not gonna use the other stirring thing. I usually use my drill because it's got all kinds of primer stuff on it, and I don't want to contaminate this paint right here. Putting that tape on there will help me not get it all in this groove right here, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Four to one. Okay, so. I about messed up. Right above the 3, it's like 3 1/4 probably, so I'm just gonna try to go about that same amount with the activator. Should be about the right amount, about a little over 3, so pretty good. So the strainers thing come with is 190 micron, which is what I had. I bought a big pack of them on eBay a couple years ago, but it's the same micron, so will it sure work good. Clean those pieces up. Still wipe down those 2, 3, 4 pieces. And I still have to gotta scuff this out of this one. This one's already scuffed and everything. And cleaned off. This one is, so I'm gonna make sure which side is the inside and outside, and then I'm gonna scuff this bad boy up a little bit. So I can clean them all up. You ready to roll? I'm gonna test fit this and see which fender it goes on and which side's the engine bay side. Hit it with some 320. Get the cleaner. And double check it one more time. Make sure I'm not screwing up. Lay this down for now. Get the cleaner. Yeah, I don't want this crap. I'm just gonna clean them up real quick and I'll spray them. I know my shop's junky, but I'm gonna throw some color on these things real quick.
It's a bottle right away. There's one of those over here.
Just take a little everything off before I shoot, make sure all the metallics are floating and sit at the bottom. The professionals say they do, I don't know. Just winging it.
Put a little more on the.
Just get the fluid tip out just put it further so maybe it'll pull them on there and won't be as orange peeling maybe. I'm just gonna do 2 coats on everything, I guess. So I have the second coat on here. Looks pretty good, just orange peel. I gotta work on my gun settings. I don't think it's that gun, I think it's just the way I set the gun up. Looks good having that the right color blue though. Versus having it spray painted like it used to be. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes. I don't know what time it is, but about 5 more minutes probably. I'm probably gonna paint the spray those other parts a second time. I think 2 coats should be enough for this. I'll let it cure. Just got home. I guess it's been about 7 hours since I sprayed all this stuff. Man, that stuff laid down good. If it'll focus. You can see the reflection in it. Probably best on the stuff I ever laid down, honestly. I don't know why that stupid thing won't focus. That's not perfect. There's a couple spots where you can see it ran right there. I mean, the rest of those guys got a little too wet right there, I guess. This thing is struggling to focus right. It's that one spot. These things, they got way too wet on these, I guess. Hope I can fix that pretty easily. I like the metallic sag a little bit right here. This looks pretty good though. I didn't even do any videoing with painting these parts right here, but the same mixing the same way as the blue paint, just 4 to 1 to 1. There's some orange peel right there. I might wet sand that. This looks like, let's see. Some orange peel too. So these brackets right here, I'm gonna leave it like it is. I'm not wet sanding that crap. That's just for the lower fender brackets. And that right there is for the battery box right there. Those two are the battery box. That looks pretty decent. There's these pieces. It's got a little bit of texture on there. That ship guard stuff looks pretty good. Those are pretty much done. I mean, so I got this right here. This side's black. This side's the blue paint color. Each one of these does have a, I guess we call it a run or something. Right there, a little spot. It's that run. So I have to fix that, but this is all coated for now. So to further avoid the whole fender situation, pulled the hood off these stands, got everything moved to the side. Fixing to clean the wiper cowl up so I can get it in some primer surfacer, because once I do that, I can put it on there for good and make sure that I'm fitting the fenders up like they need to be fit up, because it mounts, go to the side right here. That thing comes in right here to make sure everything's lined up like it's supposed to be before I start cutting anything, because I think the best option is probably going to be cutting this to make it match that contour. I'm gonna have to weld some more stuff in there or something. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but probably smart to make sure I have it, you know, spaced out right here and on the other side before I start cutting anything up. So we'll go there and clean that up real good, put the 320 on there and mix that stuff up. This is that windshield cowl I was talking about, wiper cowl, you wanna call it. I got it sanded down with 320, cleaned it up, already primed it. It's been a long time ago, honestly. Started doing the body work. There used to be a hole for an antenna right there and a few more holes for a CB or something, but I've already painted the bottom side of this blue a long time. It's been at least a year ago, maybe more than that. I painted this, primed the top, but let's see if I can figure out how to do this primer surfacer. 2K urethane primer or whatever. It's mixed 4 to 1, just like the paint was, so it must be thinner. I thought it was a high build primer, but I guess it's not high build primer. Maybe. I don't know. I'll try to pull the list up that Summit puts on there. So here's the 2K urethane primer I'm gonna use. So you do the DTM epoxy primer, then this primer, and put the paint on top of that. So I thought this was high build. It may be high build. I'm not really sure, honestly. The Summit Racing has a whole list of stuff. I used to have it printed off, but there's no telling where it is now. But it has a whole list of everything you need if you're gonna get, you know, the whole, I guess the single stage paint system they use. So you pick, you know, it shows you need this much primer, this much paint. This is what activator you need for the different temperatures and stuff like that. Like, I know what temperature it is. So this is slow, this is high temp, this is for 80 degrees and higher. So it has all that on a big list. I'll try to put it on the screen if I can find it. But they said to get this right here for the paint job, so that's what I did. I ordered this crap. It might have been 2 years ago now. I've had it for a while now. Been messing with this stuff, but either way. So I'll mix this crap up real quick. I said 4 to 1, just like all the paint was. And blow that thing off one more time. Shoot some on there. See what this stuff's all about. So I did all my stuff. I did primer and this primer, they're both black. The epoxy primer and this primer are both black. So I wanted to be the darkest, kind of the deepest blue I could get. That's why I did that. Is that silver coat, primer, whatever you use, if it's a lighter color, it can kind of show through and make the color change a little bit. Let's see. Oh, that crap is 30 feet. Never mind. Well, so to shake. Shit, that crap is definitely thick. I wonder how to get the drill mixer deal. Probably would be a lot easier, wouldn't it? Probably would be a lot easier. Alright, got this bad dog here. I'm gonna mix it up real good. So I didn't realize it was that thick. I don't know if I clean this off or not. Hopefully, I wouldn't think they would react with each other because they're in the same kit and they're made to work together. So hopefully it's fine. This is definitely high build time. I was thinking right. I was thinking this mix right here, the epoxy primer you mix half and half pretty much. This right here you mix 4 to 1, so it's gonna be pretty daggone thick when I get mixed up. That crap is thick. Got that stirred up real nice. Get that stirred up real good and wipe this out one more time. Make sure everything's clean. Already wiped it off with acetone. Do the same thing I always do. Put some tape right here so it doesn't make as big of a mess, hopefully. I should have mixed most of this up, honestly. That piece is fairly small, so. That. So if it does right here, you'll want to worry about it running inside that groove right there. That thing sucks to clean out. So if you go like this right here, seal that edge off, it should run into that groove. So that's how I usually do it. So I'll put 4 to 1. Yeah. 4 to 1 with the activator, just like the paint was. So this is, like I said, high temps, above 80. We use that. I ain't gonna mix up a whole lot. I'll probably go to, that is a pretty decent sized part, I guess. I'm gonna go to 2. I think 2 should be fine because I'm only painting one, or I'm only coating one side of it. The whole bottom side's already painted, so I think going to 2 should be enough, hopefully. If not, I'll make some more up. Whoa. I could do a mess what I'm fixing to do. Golly. This crap is thick. 3 C's. If you're gonna paint your vehicle, at least buy 3 gallons of acetone. You're gonna need 3 gallons probably. Good chance of it. I'll pull this up and all that paint will go inside there. Not in the groove, hopefully. Oh, exquisite. It all in the groove. Fantastic. Alright. That's what I was trying to avoid right there. That ought to be good. Alright, so there's that. So I got that mixed up to, that's right above the 2. Alright, almost about 2 1/4 or something. So, I'll put this to close to 2 1/4. Double check, it is the right one. A little too few. Right. 2 1/4 with this. It'll help when your table's not level. Probably close to 2.5, honestly. We'll try that and see what happens. This crap is thick. Says for the 1.4 tip, I think, which is what I have. Yeah. But they're most of these, all these ones I've seen show what to spray it with. So I can see it when we're taking camera yet. It's right there. See, it says 1.4, 1.6 millimeter tip, what the pressure should be set at. So that's a 1.4. Most all the freight guns are 1.4s. The cheap ones are anyway. And storage had to delete like 2 hours worth of videos, but got all this mixed up pretty good. You can see how thick that stuff is compared to what paint is. I guess you can see. I don't know. I'm using the front camera on my stand. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on, but hopefully everything is visible. These good old filters right here, strainers, what do you want to call it? Toss it over here and pour it in together. I'll go ahead and dump this in real quick. Maybe you can see how thick it is when I dump it. That crap's thick. Always enough for at least 2 coats. This high build primer should build up. Should be able to sand it down again. Everything real smooth, and it should hopefully cover up all like if there's any kind of rust pitting or anything like that. It's already neutralized all the rust and cleaned it up and stuff, but some of that pitting that was on there, there's still kind of divots in there that need to be filled in. I'm doing a really good job videoing everything, so I guess I'll video prime this thing.
That ain't spraying for crap.
My phone cut off, but I got 2 coats of that high build primer on there. Oh, it's my gun. Or if I don't know what I'm doing, that stuff. It's supposed to have a bunch of water peel. I don't know, but it is rough. My gun hardly wanted to spray it out of there, honestly. It's got the right size tip according to the paper, so I don't know what was going on, but that's good there. I really only got 1 coat on, I guess this little spot right here, but that should be fine. There's not a whole lot of body work done right there, so I think that'll be all right. That would have been fine without any, so should be fine. Made this far, I sure appreciate you watching. So I have most of the video made for these tubs, as far as doing a lot of body work on them, but I don't feel like putting a video out until I have the whole thing at least painted on the inside, so it feels like I actually made some progress. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks I'll have these things paint on and have them bolted up pretty much permanently, hopefully. So we'll see what happens. I missed the deadline. I set the 20th. I was just kind of it's called a self deadline, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but really nothing more than just motivate me to keep hammering down on it. So I did. It wasn't for lack of trying I didn't make it, but I really do everything right the first time and try to not to skip steps just to make a deadline, because I mean, I hate to look at it and, 6 months say, man, I wish I would have done better on that piece right there. Or I could have spent 10 minutes extra and made that a little nicer, which it's not gonna be perfect, but I'd like to make it where at least I'd be happy looking back at it in 6 months and say, well, did a pretty good job, it's good enough for what it is. So, thank y'all for watching again. Check out some older videos and we'll check out some of them. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one.